buckle up because I'm about to save you 18,720 minutes on your fit goals so that you can get abs in 2025. Okay. So 18,720 minutes per year is 312 hours per year. Okay, guys. What I'm going to be explaining to you is going to save you 312 hours per year on your fit goals, right? 26 hours per month, okay? Which ends up to be about 2 hours per day. If you're doing a 3 day work week, right? About 2 hours per day, right? On a 3 day work week, okay? 2 hours per day, right? Because here's the thing, a lot of you guys tell me that it's like impossible for you to dial in your fitness, right? It's impossible for you to make it to the gym every day. A lot of you guys are trying to go to the gym at 5 a.m. And to be quite frank, it's unsustainable. The number one thing people tell me as to like why they fell off their fitness goals is just they didn't have enough time, right? They just didn't have enough time. And what I'm going to be explaining to you, this new solution, right? I've worked a long time on this, guys. You're going to save so much time because the number one thing you guys tell me is you can't stay consistent because you just don't have enough time, right? You work too much. You work 50, 60, 70, 80. Some of you guys work over 100 hours per week, right? For the business owners in the room. And so this is going to save you guys so much time. Okay. And so I'm really excited to unveil this, to announce this to you. I just want to ask you though, would saving 26 hours per month on your aesthetic physique goals, like what would that be worth to you? Right? Would it be worth sticking to the end of this video so I can show you how? Right? Because a lot of you guys like, you guys are watching TikTok. All right. Like with all due respect, if you're like a TikTok brain, if all you do is watch TikTok and you just doom scroll, please click off this video, okay? Because this video is not for you. This video is for the people who can stick to the end of the videos, right? With that being said, the most common reason people can't hit their fit goals, like I said, not enough time. Okay, you get these aspirations to get abs, right? Maybe you like watch a YouTube video. Maybe you watched a motivational YouTube video. I remember a couple years ago, I was working at the gym, and this dude was like, he came in and he wasn't in the best of shape, right? But he was like, yo, I like to watch these motivational videos. And then he showed me like the motivational videos that like the mainstream ones that had like 30 million views, right? Those ones. And he was like, yo, like, look at this. This is so dope. This is so great. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's great. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I knew this guy wasn't going to stick to his goals long term, right? Because you need something more than just like motivation, right? A lot of times, a lot of reason you guys can't stick to your goals is because you get that boost of dopamine, right? When you watch a motivational video or when someone inspires you to like, oh yeah, like let's get back out there, right? But oftentimes that motivation, you'll find it's short lived, right? So you need something more than motivation, right? You need to commit to something long term. So I think what I'm about to explain is going to help you get closer to that point where you're like committing to something long term because just stick to the end. Okay. You'll see. But you guys don't have enough time. You have these aspirations. You want abs. You want to lose weight. Here we go. So, okay, here's the thing. You get these aspirations to be like the superhuman, right? From your favorite mentally unstable Army, Navy, or ex-felon social media influencer. A lot of you guys don't understand, right? That a lot of these big figures that are like really popular in this space, like in the fitness space, like just gurus in general, like a lot of these big gurus out here that are like preaching like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, right? They have a lot of trauma, guys, from either, and look, if you have served in the Army and Navy, like with all due respect, like I really appreciate you. Like seriously, thank you for your service, especially if you're like a cop or something like that. Um, yeah, like you guys have, you guys are keeping us safe, so I really appreciate that. But a lot of times, people will hop on social media, especially these type of guys, right? They'll hop on and they'll start talking about like mental toughness and like, yeah, you need to have mental toughness, like 100%. But then that message can be skewed very, keep it this way, okay? You don't want to consume two truths and a lie, right? You don't want to consume two truths and a lie. I'd rather have three truths than two truths and one lie, right? So a lot of times these influencers are coming on, right, from all this head trauma and from all this, PTSD. And then they're telling you to do, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? And you got to ask yourself, who do you really want to take advice from, right? Like who do you really like? You have to look at a lot of aspects of people's characters to understand if they're the right person to take advice from. And a lot of times, a lot of you guys, a lot of us, myself included in the past, we look at these guys who have like head trauma from like playing either football, kickboxing, um, UFC, stuff like that. And or like on the complete flip side, we'll look at people who are, who have like PTSD, have a lot of head trauma from being out in war and everything, and they're giving advice on, sure, they can give advice on mental toughness and everything like that, but a lot of times these guys' philosophies can get radical to the point of, one, you can't sustain it, right? You cannot sustain it. And two, to the point of it becomes a little bit unhealthy, right? Because when you have PTSD, you have to understand in your mind, you're in a totally different frequency, you're in a totally different mind frame from someone who's like, for example, like just, grew up, great family, right? Worked a job, never has been in any life threatening, like anything like that in their life. So I hope that makes sense to you. You really want to take into account people's mental history when you're taking into account, when you're like looking at advice online, especially. You don't have enough time. Okay. So what do you do? What do most people do? Okay. Most people, probably you as well, right? You get a gym membership and you start going to the gym at 5 a.m. for 2 to 3 weeks, right? Woo, like let's go. You got a gym membership, baby. You know what I'm saying? You feel really motivated, right? You feel really motivated for a little bit, right? But what happens? Okay. Your busy 50 to 80 hour schedule gets too stressful and you go right back to the bad habits. It takes 2 to 3 weeks, guys. Okay. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for this to happen. Okay. You're probably watching this video. This has probably happened to you, right? You got motivation, right? That dopamine hit in your brain. You're like, oh shoot. You watch a social media video, right? A video on social media on YouTube, right? Or whatever the case may be. You're like, oh my God, I'm so motivated, right? So you go to the gym. Okay. And then what happens? Your busy schedule just makes it so stressful. You get so stressed out. And then 2 to 3 weeks, what happens? Right? You're right back to square one. Okay. And oftentimes, guys, this is just due to unsustainability, right? So a lot of times we overestimate our capabilities and we're like, okay, I can do all this stuff. I can do all this stuff. Like I can go to the gym 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have this motivation, right? And a lot of times people don't talk about this a lot, but oftentimes you'll watch some social media guru, right? And they'll be like, oh, I go to the gym 7 days a week, or I go to the gym 6 days a week, right? But they're lying, right? Understand a lot of people are out here lying. Okay. So you don't need to trust a lot of people, especially online, right? So you're so motivated and you're like, okay, I'm going to get a gym membership. I'm going to get a gym membership. Then you go get a gym membership and then you go for like 2 to 3 weeks and then like you fall off, whatever the case may be, something happens in your life and you're back to square one. So that's the problem right there. But a lot of Americans, they want to get in shape, right? But the solutions that bombard us are either, like I just explained, unsustainable, right? They're not long term, right? They're band-aid solutions. Excuse me. Or they're just full on scams, right? You see a lot of scams online. Um, and then also gyms, like they use deceptive practices to take your hard-earned money, right? Like the 6 week challenge. I'm gonna blurt out a lot of these people's names. I'm gonna blurt out the gym names and everything, guys. I'm not in the business of creating enemies. I'm in the business. Excuse me. I'm gonna blurt out a lot of these gym names. Guys, I'm not in the business of creating enemies. I'm in the business of creating awareness. I'm not in the business of creating enemies. I'm in the business of creating solutions, right? So that's why these names are going to be blurted out. But for example, while I like the gym format, I'm going to make another video about this. Probably next video, I'll make a full video about this. But just look at this review right here. While I like the gym format and the trainers, just be prepared for their cancellation policies. You will be expected to cover an entire extra month, $200 plus if you need to cancel if you get injured, right? And then it's like, no, oh, I'm sorry you feel this way. It's no, oh, yeah, no, this is our policy, right? But here's the thing, guys. If you guys know anything about customer service, right? So if you remember, all right, Nordstrom, there's this lady that had a tire. Nordstrom is like a, what is it, a beauty store? Or is it like a clothing store or something like that? But there's this one time where this lady, she brought in a tire, right? Like the clothing store or whatever it is. So there was this story of this lady that took back a tire to Nordstrom. And she was like, yeah, I got it here. I want a refund. They're like, man, we don't sell tires. She's like, oh, I want a refund. And they gave her the refund. And so that's like a little bit of a extreme example, right? But here's the thing, guys. It's like these gyms right here. They'll be like, oh, good morning, Nicholas. I'm glad to hear you enjoyed the gym format and trainers. Every membership has a 30-day cancellation policy. And so if cancellation is less than 30 days, you do get whatever the case may be, right? So he's expressing concern right here. And there's no apology, right? There's no, oh, this is our policy, right? Which that's terrible. If you know anything about like customer service, that's terrible customer service right there, right? And so, like for example, like for what we do at Flight, like we're all about making sure people are taken care of, right? And this is just terrible customer service, right? So this pisses me off just looking at this right here. But here's another one. While I like the gym format and the trainers, just be prepared for their cancellation policies. You will be expected to cover an entire extra month, 200 plus if you cancel, if you get injured or whatever the case may be. Again, this is what pisses me off. No, oh, I'm sorry, Nicholas, that I'm sorry you had this experience with us. I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. It's just I'm glad to hear you enjoyed the gym format. Every membership has a 30-day cancellation policy. So if cancellation is less than 30 days, you do get billed one more month, like most fitness facilities. There's no, oh, I'm sorry for your experience, or I'm sorry that you felt this way, whatever the case may be. It's basically they're saying, translation, they're saying, screw you, okay? You didn't read the cancellation policy, screw you. That's no way to do business. Another one. This manager is so unpleasant, arrogant, super rude, and I think she picks on some. The worst experience I ever had. All other coaches are awesome, though. Right? So, but this plays into another like thing that a lot of people don't like about like going into gyms is the workers. They're often like super arrogant, super rude. Okay, I'll give you an example right here. Let's see. So one of my videos right here, we interviewed right here. We interviewed a guy that got harassed by a 24-hour fitness employee. Right. Yeah, I interviewed him. Nobody watched it, by the way. But I interviewed this guy for 40 minutes. He got harassed by a 24-hour fitness employee. And it gets crazy, like what happens, guys. Yeah, I will say it gets a little bit like scary. So like if you can't handle the heat, definitely don't watch it. But yeah, it's like gym employees do this. This is also a thing that just pisses me off about gym employees. Here's another one. After this, I'll be done. I've never written a review and said publicly, don't trust this company, but truly, I recommend you don't join this gym. Okay. And it says definitely don't do free personal training sessions. They have some nice folks on site, but it's not worth all the trouble it can bring you. We had a disagreement and perhaps misunderstanding about some training sessions for my minor son at this location, which we altered. Anyway, you can read it, right? You can read it. He had a misunderstanding. He had it in writing, whatever the case would be. They still charged him for personal training sessions when he didn't want personal training sessions, right? And he said, update. They still haven't gotten back to me. That's insane. You don't have a support line, right? Like a 24-hour support line. That's insane, right? You ask any one of, like, for example, flight members, you ask any flight member, like, they can get a hold of anybody, any of the coaching staff 24/7, right? It's like insane. He still hasn't gotten a reply from this gym, right? It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, this gives you just a little look at how just bad the industry is, right? Not only gyms, but quick fix, miracle products peddled by fitness influencers, right? Online coaching scams, high dollar coaching, selling you the dream, but they leave you in a sea of confusion. Like a lot of times, these online coaches, which online coach, everybody and their mom is a coach nowadays, right? Everybody and their mom is a coach nowadays, but a lot of times, like, who was the person who got in trouble for hold on, like there's a client of a coach that sued the coach because, like, I guess she signed up clients and she just put them in these modules, right? They're like basically signed up, you pay them like a high dollar, and then it's just like thrown into modules and it's like no support, anything like that. And it's kind of a scam right there. So, um, or get abs ebooks, like, oh my God, hey, I got these abs. And a lot of times they're using steroids, right? The fitness, like 90%, guys, you got to realize like 90% of the industry is lying to you, right? 90% of the fitness industry is using steroids. They're like using steroids and they're like, oh yeah, look at how I got this physique. But it's like, bro, you're taking steroids, right? It's so deceptive. And that's what pisses me off about the industry. But that's why by the end of this video, I'm going to save you 26 hours per month to fill the gap of why you haven't been able to hit your fit goals, right? But first and foremost, who am I? My name is Adam Garrick. I'm the founder of Full Body Flight, right? Which is our rapid sustainable weight loss company. Before Full Body Flight, I worked at Planet Fitness, right? As a fitness manager, okay? At Planet Fitness, okay? So there are some things that I took away, some things that I learned from working in the gym, right? So one thing I realized from working in the gym is that people can't show up for themselves, okay? There's no metrics or action steps, right? But here's the thing, when there's no clear guideline and action steps to get to your goal, there's an extremely high chance of fall off, right? Members would simply schedule classes and it's easy for them to not show up when they're not paying any money. I told my boss, I was like, why don't we make this coaching like paid, right? I told my boss, I was like, why don't we make this coaching paid? Because I was like, they take it more seriously. And she was like, well, that's just company policy. So it's like, okay, I'll start my own company. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, I digress. When there's no clear action step in your brain connecting your efforts to your goals, there becomes a high chance you just give up altogether. So a lot of times you give up when you're putting in all this effort, but at the same time, all this effort, you're not seeing a connection to your goals, right? You're not seeing a connection to your goals. And when you're putting in all this effort and you're not seeing success, it'll psychologically mess with you. You're like, oh my God, like, even if I put in this effort, nothing's going to yield returns, right? But here's the thing, I think what I found is that a lot of times people will be focused on like this effort, like in the gym, like they'll be working out in the gym, and they're not seeing results, right? They're not seeing results because they're not working on the right stuff, right? And a lot of times, you don't focus on the things that drive real results, okay? The things that drive real results. It's largely a feel good environment inside of gyms, right? Meaning it largely revolves around making you feel good you're working out as opposed to actually getting you long term results. And this is bad. Gyms, like, okay, so when you understand the 80/20 rule, right? So also known as the Pareto principle, this is from Google, it states that 80% of results come from 20% of the causes, right? And a lot of times, like when you go to work out with a personal trainer in a gym, right? This is a lot of times, this is why gym personal trainers, that doesn't work, right? They don't, like, you're not going to lose weight from that, is because just working out in the gym, that's like less than 10% of your actual results, right? Just working out and nothing else, that's like 10%. of the entire game. So when you're only dialing in 10%, you're not going to get the result, right? But here's the thing. You listen to all these social media influencers. They're all like, oh, work hard, work hard, work hard. But it's like when you're working on the wrong things, you're not going to get the result, right? So that's one thing, okay? You're not focusing on the 20% of causes that get you 80% of the results, right? So oftentimes it's only 20% of the causes that get you 80% of the results. And that's what the Pareto principle shows right there. So after that experience in the gym, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't align with any of this company's values, right? I'm just going to start my own company. Okay. So my Rapid Sustainable Weight Loss Company, we've gotten great client results, right? 22 pounds in 12 weeks. I mean, this is my own physique right here. But here's some of our client results right here. So I'll play these. This is Sunil, 40% body fat to 14% body fat.
Hey, I'm really excited for this one today.
Gonna happen. This is Sunil. He got really good results. You can watch this for yourself. Connor, member of the year, the flight member of the year. He got crazy results as well. Like, this is insane,
bro.
Right?
That's insane, bro. Aesthetic muscle program, the new program.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yeah, bro. That's insane, bro.
Thanks to you, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's Connor right there. We had a client go from 31% body fat to 24% body fat in 50 days. That's also another video on the channel.
hey, what's up,
Okay,
Take
you can
Fam?
watch.
Hey, so today we're gonna
And then Bella, she's so cute. And then yeah, so those are some of our client results. 10 pounds in 2 weeks, right? A magazine wrote an article on my system. But like, why am I so passionate about helping other people lose weight and get aesthetic, right? The thing is, I'm on a mission, guys, to help lower the obesity rate in America, right? According to the CDC, approximately 73% of American adults age 20 and older are considered overweight or obese. But let me be honest. So that's the biggest motivation right here. Like, that's the biggest motivation. I'm trying to lower this, and I know with this new solution, we're going to lower it. Right. But if I'm being honest, a large chunk of my confidence, client results, and then success in the industry, it stems a lot from anger. Right. I just have to admit to you, it stems a lot from anger. Let me explain. Okay. So there are 1.1 million fitness coaches in America alone. 1.1 million fitness coaches in America alone. Yet 70% of Americans are overweight or obese. How does that make any sense? People aren't doing their part. These coaches are not doing their part, right? To lower this. And instead, they're opting for, oh yeah, these people are lazy, right? These people are lazy, right? To like make up for why they can't get their clients results. That's what I hate. It's like, when a lot of times in this industry, when coaches can't get their clients results, they'll opt for, oh, these people are lazy. Oh, these people can't follow instructions. It's like, but you're the coach. So it's like, that should fall. Like, when in the NBA, right? When a team has a losing season, the coach gets fired, right? But that's how it should be, because the coach is leading the flock of people, right? Anyways, so the fitness industry has largely shied away from its original origins, which also pisses me off as well, right? And it's like, this industry was made famous to help Americans get in the best shape of their lives, right? But has since drawn away from that mission and has gone towards like ego fitness, right? All these fitness influencers around here, like this stuff right here. Okay. Like, with all due respect, I mean, yeah, like great physiques and everything like that, but what good does this add to society by just giving yourself an ego boost, right? It's just an ego boost. What value? Like, what value does that have to society, right? Fake dreams sold as products, what we discussed earlier, right? And this leads to more people being turned off from fitness. You know, I've been trying to clean this up, right? With Full Body Flight, with all of the client results and impact, right? Which, guys, you can go to my Instagram. Okay. You can go to my Instagram. You can see pages of client results. Okay. You can scroll until your thumbs get sore. Okay.
He's cold. Well, just doing it by myself and not knowing anyone else. So
Right. Tons of client results. Okay. You can scroll until your thumbs get short. Tons of client results. Okay. So with that being said, pages and pages and pages of client results on my Instagram. Okay. Um, so that's one thing. But it's like really, I'm really mad because it's like I've been trying to clean this industry up with Full Body Fight. But it's like with all of the client results and all the impact, I was surprised to be met with animosity from the industry, right? Because while they peddle scammy, placebo-like supplements, fake dreams of, oh, you could be buff like me, while secretly taking steroids to keep up the facade, I've been doing nothing but making sure we achieve the most incredible client results in the industry. Okay. But with all the client results, guys, with all the client results you see right here, okay, with all the client results, I haven't been ego tripping and flexing in the mirror. In fact, like if you go to my IG, right, go to my IG, I don't have any pictures flexing or anything like that. It's just a regular page right here, right? Because I care about results. I care about getting real people, real results. Okay. I haven't been calling people fat online. None of that. Like the last 4 years, I've been collecting data and feedback from my clients to help them get down to the bottom of why 70% of Americans are overweight or obese. Why, like, what is the quickest, most efficient, sustainable, and healthiest way to get down to 12% body fat, right? Why, despite all the information online, people are still struggling with weight. Like, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of videos online of like how to hit your goals, like different diets, stuff like that. But it's like with all this information, like why are people still struggling? Right. So I can confidently tell you, I know exactly how to get people down from where they're at right now down to 12% body fat. Right. And so for the last 4 years, I've been trying to solve this puzzle, right? Giving people new life in the process. But with all the animosity I've gotten from the industry, I always have to tell myself, I'll go back to this on like Adam, when you look at all the client results, hate never comes from above, right? Hate never comes from above. So the industry isn't doing anything to help people really lose weight besides the following. Oh, their fat asses just need to eat less, right? Or oh, if only they ate less. These are actual conversations that I've had like with people who have said this stuff right here, right? Like they'll like these are coaches too, right? These are coaches in the industry. They'll say this stuff. And if you watch this right here, so this video right here, it's just explaining how like a lot of like weight loss is just like
What's up, guys?
mindset related, right? A lot of it is just mindset related. And this is what a lot of the industry they don't understand is that when your mindset is screwed up, it's like nothing else is going to be fixed within your situation, right? So it's like you almost have to fix your mindset first before you can start seeing any kind of long lasting results. But it's like most of the industry just results to this because they can't get their clients results. So they result in like these insults right here, right? But it's like it doesn't make any sense, right? And that's why it just pisses me off because there's 1.1 million fitness coaches in America, right? But it's like, why are 70% of Americans overweight or obese? If there's 1.1 million people that do this for a living, like what are they doing wrong? Basically, guys, so Americans, like they can't lose weight sustainably. But I hope I gave you like a little bit of a picture of why this industry like sucks, right? It's full of heartless, dark empaths that prey on your insecurities and they scam you with quick fix supplements, right? Personalized coaching, which is really just a course. Like they put you in modules that you're never going to watch, right? They sell dreams as products, right? And I want you to know, like, I heard this, like, I've heard all of the input, right? Like I said, for the last 4 years, we've like all we've done is just gain lots of data and feedback from our clients of like what works and what doesn't work, of what they like about things and what they don't like about things. And then we put this into a solution of what we're going to be unveiling here soon. But here's the reality, right? You hate going to the gym, right? Feeling judged for your physique, right? By all the people that seemingly have more experience than you, right? You're staring at the, oh, I don't know if I'm doing this exercise right problem, and you feel kind of out of place. You're like, in the middle, you're in a machine or you're at the dumbbells and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And so it's kind of like it feels weird, right? And you hate working out in a dirty, crowded facility where you have to wait an hour to get access to your machine, right? It makes no sense. You're constantly disappointed because you can't stay consistent with a routine no matter how hard you try, right? And that's a big problem right there. That's a big problem right there. You're not even sure the exact action steps it take to get down to 12% body fat. And I heard you right here, okay? But here's maybe the biggest problem right here is you don't even believe it's possible to get down to 12% body fat, right? You struggle with the belief in yourself. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest issue. What I discussed earlier, it's a mindset thing. Okay. You struggle with belief in yourself. It has little to do. Yeah, it has some stuff to do with energy expenditure, right? The energy expenditure pillars, but it has mostly to do with the fact that you just don't believe in yourself. And that's the problem. And that's why I created, drum roll, please. That's why I created VGym, right? VGym is the world's first live gym on the internet. Okay. The first ecosystem of its kind, allowing you live VIP access to top fitness professionals, guiding you through a personalized weekly workout, then helping you step by step towards accomplishing your fitness goals, which is insane right there. You'll be able to work out and save hours each day with the V Coach protocol that we've created right here. Save 120 minutes per day. So you save 2 hours per day that you work out on your fitness goals. Because if you see, if you see how VGym stacks up to the competitors, this is an insane structure. Okay. Like just look at how VGym stacks up against the competitors. Okay. So if you look at all this right here, okay, Equinox, you go to Planet Fitness. Okay. F45, EOS. You realize you wake up, get in the car, drive in traffic, hit the workout in a crowded facility, take shower, get back in traffic, go home and work. Excuse me. That's what all of these solutions stack up. Okay. Like this is all stacked up against you. All right. This takes a long time, it takes hours out of your day. Right. But with VGym, here's the thing. You wake up, living room workout, done. Boom. You save 18,720 minutes per year on a 3-day work week. Right? That's crazy. Okay. Difficulty level. Okay. A lot of these are intermediate, intermediate or expert members come here. Planet Fitness, it is beginner friendly. However, with limited expert support and resources. Okay. So like, yeah, a lot of these trainers, there's some trainers that are doing it right, right? Like there's some trainers that are absolutely doing it right, but it's like, what expertise do you like? I mean, you tell me, you guys go to Planet Fitness, right? Most of you guys have had a Planet Fitness membership. So you tell me, what's the expertise level like inside of those gyms right there? So F45, okay, advanced, very strenuous workouts, right? You'll go and you'll get a workout, but it's like, there's going to be people who are beginners, there's going to be people who are intermediates, and there's going to be people who are experts, right? And so when you're a beginner and you're doing a workout with an expert level, it's like, how are you going to get support? And like, it just doesn't go together, right? And so that's the problem with F45 right there. But with VGym, it's beginner friendly, live workouts with coach helping you step by step during and then after your workouts. Okay. So that's extremely powerful right there. And then a network. Okay. You're limited to your home gym with all of these right here. Okay. But with VGym, you get a global connected community of high value individuals, business owners, business pros, architects, whatever the case may be, right? We have them all in VGym. And then also, okay, guys, I've heard you. You hate the annual fee. Okay, you hate the annual fee. All right, all these gyms have annual fees. With VGym, you have no annual fee. You can cancel anytime. In fact, this is a QR code. Okay. If you scan the QR code, I'll just show you right here. If I scan the QR code in my camera, so you open the camera app and then you scan the QR code, go to YouTube, and it's a 30-second video where I show you how to cancel your VGym membership. Okay. So that's insane right there. All right. We're not here to be sleazy, right? Because I urge you, okay? You hate these gyms. You hate how they're all sleazy. Oh, annual fee. Oh, you didn't cancel in time. All that bullshit, right? So none of that, okay? None of that. You can cancel anytime with VGym, okay? Live workouts and coaching from the comfort of your living room, okay? Save 2 hours per day. What would it like, especially if you're a business owner? What is it to save 2 hours per day every single day that you work out? What's that worth for you? Like, what can you get done? How much training can you do for your staff with that 2 hours? Think about it, right? How much more extra time can you spend with your family, with your kids, with that 2 hours? Right. So think about that. Okay. And then coaching from top fitness professionals. Okay. There's coaching from top fitness professionals. There's a curriculum in VGym. Okay. There's a curriculum. And then also it's $22 per month. Right. $22 per month. And then also, here's the thing. We're not out here to like steal any of your money right here. Okay. You get a 7-day free trial because I want you to come inside and I want you to see for yourself how transformative this is, how much like more convenient this is than what you've been trying beforehand. Right. So that's why I'm giving you a 7-day free trial. That's why I'm showing you exactly how to cancel in case you don't like it, right? In case it's not for you, right? Okay. So this is how you cancel. All right. You get a 7-day free trial because I want you to try this. I want you to get in. You're not going to know how VGym is outside of VGym. So that's why I'm giving you a 7-day free trial to get in so that you can see, okay, this is for me, or, oh, this is not for me, right? No cancellation fees and then no annual fee. Okay. And so this is beginner friendly too, as well. Live coaching from top fit pros during and after your workout right here. Okay. Whereas a lot of these other gyms, no. The gym intimidation factor, it can feel intimidating working out as a beginner when the workouts are made for intermediate or advanced exercises, right? So I'm giving you this opportunity right now to scan this QR code. What you do right now, I'll show you. You open your camera app and then you scan this QR code right here, and then you're going to get access to VGym. You're going to get access to your 7-day free trial, okay? And you're going to see just how transformative this solution is, guys. Okay. Like it took me a long time to figure out a solution that is really going to help people long term, is really going to genuinely save people time, is genuinely not out to just steal people's money like a lot of these other gyms are, right? And I was just here for one thing and one thing only, to get you down to 12% body fat. Okay, that's my one goal with VGym. Okay, and to save 2 hours per day. Okay, 26 hours per week. Okay, 2 hours per day, 26 hours a month. Okay, 26 hours per month. Like, what's that worth for you guys? What's that worth to you? So, this is your opportunity right now. You guys can get in. So, what you're going to do is you're just going to scan this QR code right here. You're going to start your 7-day free trial. You're going to get in and you're going to see just how transformative this solution is within your life, right? Or if not, you scan this QR code and you'll cancel. Okay. It's that easy. It's that simple. Okay. So I'm really excited to see you inside of VGym. It's going to be crazy, guys. It's going to be just something that changes so many people's lives. Okay. And, you know, a lot of you guys have been following me since the very beginning. And like I said, I've spent years collecting data and collecting tons of feedback on what works and what doesn't work. And VGym, this is finally going to just changed so many people's lives, especially with the friction that is being eliminated to sign up, right? Friction is being eliminated, right? I give you a 7-day free trial, right? I show you how to cancel, right? I give you support, nurturing from top fitness professionals in the industry. And so I know this is going to be just so transformative within your life. And so what I want you to do is I want you to get registered down below, or you can scan the QR code. I'll put the QR code up here in one of these two corners where you can sign up as well, or get registered down below. For VGym, we'll definitely cap the amount of people inside of here just because of obviously there's staff issues when a lot of people sign, because I know a lot of people are going to sign up to this. So when a lot of people sign up, there's naturally going to be staff issues, which we'll work through as well. We'll work through everything, right? We'll work through everything. So once the amount of people that get registered caps, then we'll put a wait list there and we'll cap entry. Okay. So with that being said, guys, I want you to get registered with VGym. And yeah, I'm so excited to see you inside, guys. This is going to change so many lives. But with that being said, guys, get registered and I'll see you soon. Okay.